watch it from Walnut Grove.
All right. Check. There we go. All right. Well, hey, we are live from Roadhouse for our Week 8 Coaches Show with head coach Seth Parr. Listen, I'm Blake Grundy.
Hey, I'm Phil Morgan. What's up, guys?
Hey, as always, little shout out to Texas Roadhouse for hosting us and providing us with some awesome food. Great time. We are thankful to Brandy and all of her staff for all that they do to make it happen. And, of course, for Adon Complete Air and Heating for sponsoring the Coaches Show on the Coyote Football Network. Phil, should we just jump into it with Coach Parr?
Let's jump right in.
Let's go. You want to get him that first question? You got it up?
All right, here we go. So we are coming off, Coach, a thorough homecoming win. A pretty good beatdown against Emerson this past Friday night. Grade out kind of our team's performance. What did you like? What are areas you walked away thinking need improvement?
Oh, I thought we came out with a lot of energy. We came out with the start fast was a big thing for us. I told them how the game was going to go. We kicked it off. I said we're going to go 3 and out, and we're going to go score, and then we're going to get another 3 and out. And we're going to go score. We're going to be up 14-0, and when we're up 14-0, I was going to middle dribble and onside kick it, and we're going to go score again. So we executed it, and I thought it was going to come to pass, but unfortunately we had a 50-50 call, and it didn't go our way. So ended up that part didn't go out, but didn't come out to what I was wanting in my vision, but everything else did. I thought we played really well. There's always some things that you can clean up from play to play, but for most part, we played really well on all phases of the game.
I love it. Let me ask, were you you talked about, hey, we're going to get a 3 and out and go up 7-0. Were you picturing that as a pump block in return for a touchdown to go up 7-0?
I felt like we were going to be close to get one. I think we've done a good job, and Ace has got a knack for it, but Coach G and Coach Guerrero's done a good job with the pump block team, and he's able to scheme some up. He told us that he thought we could get one. And when they say they think they can get one, I usually are pretty confident that they're going to get at least a bad punt off.
Well, there you go. Listen, we didn't just get one. We got 2. We got really close to a third one.
Yeah, we did.
That was for sure. Our special teams was, for the most part, was pretty lights out.
Yeah, they did a great
on
job. Friday
night. Offense was moving the ball. Defense was playing really well. I love it. We got some birthday celebrations going on.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Well, hey, let's shift focus a little bit, right? Like, last week was awesome. We had a decisive homecoming win, but we do have a big game coming up, and there's been some weird chatter this week about grocery stores and receipts. And so I've got a really simple question for you, Coach Parr. When you go grocery shopping, how long do you actually keep the receipt for, and do you brag about keeping your grocery receipts on social media?
Well, I tried. I used to not like going to the grocery store, but as you get older, I do like it. You go and see things. That's how you know when you become old man, is you really like the grocery store and like the way the aisles are laid out, what kind of food they got, and so I do not keep receipts. I don't really, keep receipts on anything, to be honest with you. But I know what you're talking about, and man, what a great deal. One thing I like that the principal did, that sent it out and stuff like that. At least, he wants to have fun, and he's encouraging his team, and he likes the rivalry, and he likes football. So a lot of respect out for. I'm not a sportsmanship. I think you can have sportsmanship and still have fun. And, that's all he was doing, is trying to, get his fan base excited. And that's what he needs to do. That's his job. He works for Walnut Grove, and we just happen to work for the best school district in the state of Texas, Anna. So
there you go. Come on now.
We're all for Anna. He should be all for Walnut Grove. And I'm sure they are excited about playing this game. You know, we are too, though.
Hey, so this is actually I was talking with the Millers yesterday, Clark Miller specifically, right? And he was talking about how for one of the first times ever, we have a student bus for the game. Can you kind of talk about the genesis of getting a bus or two to kind of bring students over to the game, making sure we have a strong student section showing?
I can tell you, you know, why we do it. You know, I'm hoping it works. I used to have to run those buses, and it took me like 2 times to decide they need to get there themselves. All right, so thank God for chaperones and stuff like that. But the deal is, it's really hard. Our kids, you know, you're in the Metroplex. We were in towns probably that you could get in your car and drive, and it wasn't going to be an issue of getting there safely. You know, our student section, a lot of our kids don't have cars now, and driving in the Metroplex is probably, I wouldn't let my daughter do it. So, you know, getting a fan bus, you're just trying to encourage school spirit, trying to get people there at the game, and then trying to get them safely. So thank you for, I didn't even know that they were doing that, but thank you for everybody who, I think Miss Kistler put out something, and Miss Render put something out and got it to going, and unbelievable sport, and that's a big help. So we really appreciate that, and the kids should appreciate it, and I hope the kids act right when they go down there.
Yeah, I think the number I heard last night that Clark told me was 38 students as of last night were signed up as kind of a, you know, last minute deal. So hopefully that number goes up. Hopefully some other students are learning about that, and we get a really good showing. I mean, because this is a big game.
Yeah, we'll put it on social media. I would just tell them, you know, I heard at Prosper, they better bring a lot of money, because, like, I went to the concession stand for the baseball team, and, man, have you seen Walnut Grove? It is so beautiful. You know, it's a nice place. It is really nice and everything else, but the concession stands are not like Anna's, you know, where we're going to do things. I think they're I don't even know if they serve nachos. They might serve caviar or sushi. All right, so we're trying to. If you want nacho money, you might not get it. You better bring that California roll money. You know, so, and I heard it's like mandatory you drink with your pinky up on for Coke. So
I'm out, Coach.
Yeah,
I'm out.
So drink up. So, you know, it's a really nice place. They got really good facilities and stuff like that. We love ours. We love our home. They have a really nice place, but you know, we're gonna go down there, and it doesn't really, you know, the place that we play, it never really bothers us, because we're, you know, the football field's still the same length, and you know, locker rooms are just a little bit nicer, which helps us quite a bit.
So going into this game, what are you wanting to see out of our team? Hit the field. What are your expectations going into this game?
My vision is we need to play fast. You know, we are just now getting to having a close of a team that we started out maybe in the summer. We've had a lot of injuries.
Sure. And
they've all kind of sparked at a different place, and we still have a couple, but we haven't had a complete team, and maybe that's because maybe that's football, but it seems like we're getting a lot of people back, and the problem is you know, how much can they go and how much they learn and how much they can go on the field and produce it. So we're excited. I'm excited to see, you know, the offense take another step forward, and I'm excited to see defense take a step forward. So, you know, we'll see. We're playing man, have you seen the stats for Walnut Grove? It's pretty remarkable. So we're playing a really good football team. I think they're ranked number 1 on offense, number 1 on defense, and I think they've only given up 20 yards rushing on the 20 yards a game.
Yeah,
throughout the year.
20 yards per game is their stat on the defensive side of the ball.
That's pretty impressive, and you know, so we're gonna have to play our best game. You know, we can't turn the ball over. You know, it's gonna be it's going to be a Melissa-type atmosphere, and it's going to be somebody that, we lost the game because we turned the ball over against Melissa and at not a good time. And so we're going to have to go in and not do that this game. It's going to take every bit of effort, and it's going to take a lot of concentration, a lot of focus to beat somebody like this. I think they're ranked number 3, in the Dallas Morning News one, and I think they're ranked in the top 10 or maybe 4 or 5 in the state. I'm not sure.
I think Dave Campbell's has them 6, Melissa 7, us 10. So
Yeah.
it's somewhere in that range, right?
Yeah, they're all good, and we're just lucky to get to go play a team like them, and we're really excited.
Well, this is a different tone than we had last year, Coach. I kind of like it. Hey, let me ask: is there any talk with the players about what this game means for our ultimate district seeding as we march toward playoffs, or is it just, hey, this is another opportunity to go play football and get better?
Yeah, we don't really care what rank we are, and we want to win the district championship. So
Right.
we know that once this game's over, if we win, we're going to be Walnut Grove's biggest fans. So
Sure.
but we're all about winning the district championship, not really worried about 1 seed, 2 seed, 3 seed. All that stuff doesn't matter. You're going to have to play football that week, and you never know what team you got going into the playoffs. It's going to be a totally different team. That's what football does. There's injuries. There's all kinds of things that can go around. So you can go be a number 1 seed and have your best player out, and your number 4 can go beat you. I mean, that's just knock on wood that doesn't happen to us, but that's a possibility. So, just got to go and get in the tournament. Did I mention how good they are?
You talked
good.
about it a few times, Coach. You talked about it a few
they're a really
times.
good team.
I would venture to say we're a pretty good team as well. We got some weapons to spread the ball around too, and we got some decent players on the defensive side of the ball.
We're hoping they come out and play, and see if they can execute. It's going to be we've had a lot of shuffling with Rowan being out and stuff like that. So, I'm going to bet on them. I'm going to bet on us. Like when I say bet on them, I'm talking about our players. I'm going to bet on them for bringing out energy, and I'm going to bet on them of wanting to play the game of football. I think they love football, and I think it's our job as coaches to create the atmosphere, to create the timing, to create the sequences of when we do things, and then do it well. So, we're going to do our best to put in a good game plan and a good sequence of order of how to practice so they can win this deal, because they want to win it, and we're going to try to put our best foot forward.
Well, there you go. Hey, Coach Parr, we kind of give you this opportunity every single week. Any final thoughts you want to give our fans or anybody watching ahead of our Week 8 matchup against Walnut Grove?
Just be loud and come in there and appreciate a great high school football game. Appreciate the environment that we're going to get, 2 top 10 teams, and understand that winning is hard, and both these teams have won a lot of games over the last 2 years, and it's probably the last time we probably see Walnut Grove. I mean, Walnut Grove is, I think, it's 6A numbers right now. They've really taken off. I don't know.
They have.
Heard like 2,400 students. That could be not true. I don't know. Everybody will tell you a number, but I know they got a lot of numbers, and after the end of this realignment, I don't think we'll be in the same district. So, just appreciate this little rivalry as it's lasted, and hopefully we'll probably get it renewed within the next 3 or 4 years. That we'll see them.
All right, guys.
I love it. Coach Parr playing a little bit closer to the vest this week. I know we got a big game coming up. I know you're excited. Coach Parr, best of luck this week as we head to Walnut Grove, or out to Prosper, to Children's Health Stadium. Is that the correct name of their stadium? Children's Health Stadium. So 7 o'clock kickoff for everybody. 7 o'clock kickoff. So for those of you joining us online, make sure you're not late. It's 30 minutes earlier than our normal kickoff time, but be ready to be loud and be proud.
Yeah, that is correct. We have a 7 o'clock kickoff. Prepare for that traffic. and just check, go online. They might have a concession stand deal, and see if they have hot dogs and nachos, and they might have just like espressos or stuff like that, but not community coffee.
You should see what they put in the basketball locker room for the referees, Coach. It's something else.
I imagine that's probably why y'all call the way y'all do when y'all are at Prosper. I'll try that.
All right, with that being said, hey, Coach, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to take a quick break to hear a message from Adon, Complete Air and Heating, and then we'll be back for segment number 2 with all of our coordinators.
Good job, man.
All right, guys, we are back. Let's get a little welcome for our coordinators up here. Now, look, this segment's going to be a little bit different. Occasionally, you might catch Blake's ear and face in there. But we've got all our coordinators up here at once to this segment. So we're going to start with just kind of a general question for you guys. What are some of the keys in your mind for each of our respective units this week in our game as we look at Walnut Grove as our next opponent?
I'll go ahead and start. Some of our keys they do a really good job of making things difficult pre-snap. They mix up their tempos. They mix up they motion and shift and move guys around. And you can tell they have a smart group of kids because they put guys in different positions and they can able to pick up different plays and run the same plays out of different formations. So they do a good job of making you communicate. So one of our emphasis is really communicating and talking things through because they're gonna stress you with pre-snap with motion shifts and then obviously their tempo. So they'll go fast, they'll go slow, they'll move it around. So we're gonna have to be really communicating well. We're gonna have to signal well. We're gonna have to get things in and communicate really well.
From a special team standpoint, being able to just play clean on all our units, kickoff, not letting anything big, being able to rally up on the returner and give our defense good field position. Kickoff return with a game where, a possession could matter. We got to be able to field every ball, not lose any possessions. And our extra point and field goal team, we got to be able to make every point. 1 point could cost us, so we got to make sure we convert on every point. They do a good job executing their schemes. They do what they're supposed to do. Their kicker puts their balls in a lot of different spots that we got to be able to make sure we cover and just being able to play clean like we have been these past 2 weeks and just making sure that carries over this week.
I think from an offensive perspective, big thing we have to do is they bring a lot of pressure, bring a lot of heat, bring a lot of different looks on defense. So making sure we kind of calm our mind pre-snap, look at what we're getting, and understand what we're getting, which, we've shown a lot of looks to those guys over the week, and just kind of understanding what they're trying to do and then how we need to execute our game plan. I think that's the biggest thing is they try to confuse you with a lot of different looks, a lot of different blitzes, coverages, movements, and they try to confuse you pre-snap and then show something different post-snap. But if we just execute our play that we know that we're doing and execute it how we need to do it, then we'll be fine. I think they're extremely talented on their D-line. A lot of people say that their nose tackle 99's the best nose tackle in the district. So we've heard that from several people that have gone against them and guys who know their team. And had a lot of people that just talk about how athletic they are. They're very talented, play really fast, and so, it should be a pretty good challenge. We've got some pretty athletic, pretty talented guys as well, so I think on Friday there'll be a lot of good on both sides of the ball.
Well, that's loud for me. There we go. I'll hold it a little bit further away from my own mouth. Hey, let's switch gears a little bit, right? Like, I don't expect you guys to give away any game plan stuff for Friday night, so let me ask you about some pregame stuff, okay? You guys have all been around the game of football for pretty much your entire lives, right? Off and on, and different experiences, different levels. So what was the wildest or most unique pregame ritual that you have ever seen during your time around the game of football? So the wildest or most unique pregame ritual that somebody's had that you're like, what are they doing?
I mean, the one that really comes to mind was when I got to Coronado. I'd been at Midland Lee before that and got to Coronado and met Coach Parr, knew him for probably 3-4 months season. And we get to our first game day, and we have a pretty long pregame. We do a lot of stuff in our pregame, and kind of towards the end of it, I saw him go to reach for a Red Bull. And I said, man, he's already had one of those, so this one's, going to be really hype him up. It'll be good. And then I saw him pull out a 5-hour energy and dump it into the Red Bull. And that was, I knew from that point forward we were going to get a pretty charged up Coach Parr that day. He's kind of reined it in. I think he's gotten a little more experience with his caffeine intake and kind of how he needs to monitor that. We've had some close calls with that, but I think he's really, that was the first. I had not seen that one before, so I didn't steal that ritual either.
Your heart probably thanks you for not stealing that one.
I think a unique pregame ritual is the one that we do with our guys, and before every game when we feed them their pregame meal, we have all the trophies that we won in the past, and what we do is we set them out on the table, and we have a routine, and Coach Rigg is actually at the forefront of leading this routine. But as the kids come in, they got to go through a certain, they got to first drink, have their hydro blast, drink their water, and then they got to come in through a certain door. If they don't go through that certain door, we make them start over. Yep. Right? So they have to go through that certain door. They come in and they touch every single trophy that we have won, from the state championship trophy back in 23 to our first district champion. They have to put their hand on every trophy, right? Then what's the next thing that they got to go through?
Yeah, so when we come in, we go water, then it's trophy, fuel bag. You can have one fuel bag, no more, no less. You can also then get your sandwich, and then you do the condiments around the corner. Then you need to exit out the back door of the coach's office. A lot of guys will get taped. They try to enter the side of the coach's office. They have to go out of the turf room, do the water, then come through the outdoor window or the outdoor door. It's been very effective for us over the years, so we kind of want to keep that thing rolling. Every once in a while, some of our newer, younger guys will have issues with it. They'll wear cleats in there, try to come in without a shirt on, and there's just certain things that, we just want to make sure that we keep, the main thing when we're going into winning games.
Rod's kind of stole my thunder. I thought the most unique thing I've seen is the way we walk in to get our food and do our trophies, touch all the trophies. So other than that, everyone's got their own, superstitions sometimes, but I don't think I've ever seen anything that crazy. So.
let's follow it up. Let's take it a different level there. So what's the funniest or most unexpected thing that maybe you heard during a game, like a player or somebody else has told you, like in the middle of a game, and it just kind of like, what are we doing? Like what's going on here?
This is back on about 2007. Actually, one of our better teams when I was in San Diego. I was coaching at Poway High School, and San Diego doesn't rain very often. But this night it was a torrential downpour, and it was we were kind of nervous because we were a really good team that year. We were undefeated. We were the 1 seed, and we were facing a dangerous team. And you never know with the elements how it's going to play into a game. It sometimes can even the playing field. And it was a pretty tense game. It was close. We were winning 17-0, but it wasn't really out of hand in this fourth quarter. And we get a big quarterback scramble, got a big first down. And we would call our quarterback over to get a play. And I heard the quarterback through the headset say, "Coach, I could pee my pants right now, and no one would know." And at that moment, it was pretty funny and kind of like, yeah, well, I guess you could. And but there's like 6 minutes left in the game, but he kind of brought everyone else's tensions down when he said that and got a little laugh, and we ended up winning the game and winning the championship that year. So that was something I always remember.
Yeah. Most unexpected experience with me from a player during a game was, this was in 22. It was our first year here, and all of a sudden I hear through the headset, "Hey, Justin Amen, our kicker, doesn't know where the tee is." Right, so we can't find the tee. And, I was just, all things are going through my mind of where the kicking tees went, because, we've gone through some kickoffs, right? Now this tee just magically disappeared. Well, I'm, losing my mind, going crazy, trying to, figure out where this tee could have gone. And it turns out that our manager had the tee and had it in the hoodie during the whole time. But, it just caused a massive heart attack for me, and it was a scary moment. It was a game that we've kicked off. We had the team for the tee just to magically disappear, and our manager to have it in his hoodie in his pockets, it was really unexpected. So,
the one that kind of sticks or jumps out at me that I always remember, it's kind of a yearly thing that we run into, is originally I'm from the northeast Missouri, western Illinois, grew up born and raised on the Mississippi River. It gets a little chillier there when we get into October, November, December. I played in a lot of snow games, a lot of chilly games. And so, when I moved down to Texas, I've always, since I was in high school, college, the biggest thing all my coaches always said is that, offensive linemen, they're supposed to be the toughest group, supposed to be the most calloused group. They can just do anything. They don't whine about stuff. They don't complain about stuff. And so one of those things that goes into it is when it gets cold, my offensive linemen are not allowed to wear sleeves. And so there's some stipulations that go around that, and some, tricks of the trade that we have to keep them warm. But always my offensive linemen know that when it gets cold, you better not come out in sleeves. And it's every year about this time, or maybe a couple weeks from now, you'll have a young kid, new kid, someone come out in sweatshirt, long johns. Something just ridiculous. And I don't even have to, it's gotten to the point where I don't have to say anything. The guys already know it's implied that they just make the kid go right back in and change. Usually the kid will ask, "Well, why do we have to do that?" And they have some constructive criticism on why that you should not do that and shouldn't wear cold gear, and then they send them back in, and I don't even have to do the coaching. But it always makes me laugh, kind of enjoy it every year. It's just sort of one of those things that all the old linemen know is a sort of ritual that we do.
Okay, coaches. So now a little bit of game. All right, let's talk something about. My mic is on the fritz. There we go. So there's a lot of noise going on around this game, right? There's all sorts of stuff, right? You got talk from WFAA. It's going to be a 100-point game, high-powered offenses, this, that, and everything else. You got the talk about Hayes Hackney and Cam Newton, all this stuff. Certainly, these guys are pretty talented players. When you're going into a game like that, and there's a little bit of hype. How do you approach that, right? How do you deal with that with the guys? What are you saying? What are you not saying? Like what's the stuff we would hear on a given week as we prepare for some competitors like this?
I think going into a big game, we played in a lot of big games over the last few years, and so that's something that our guys, I don't think they see as anything different. We do the same thing. We do our pregame the same way. We travel the same way. It doesn't matter. It's another game, right? It's one of those things that it's why we do all of our situational stuff in practice. We work 2-minute. We work, 4-minute. We work NASCAR. We work our short yardage. We work our goal line stuff because we want our kids to be comfortable in those situations. I think the more that people kind of play outside of themselves in those big games is when things go wrong or things don't go as well as they need to. I think our kids do a good job of understanding, it's another game. It's an important game. We understand that. They know that. They can read Twitter. They can read articles. They know all that stuff. But they understand that it's another football game. And it's something that if we do the stuff that we're trained to do, it's stuff we're coached to do, handle those situations correctly, it's not any different than any other game. And so I think just keeping we always talk about being 68 and breezy, staying right at that kind of perfect temperature, which that's how I like my house. I know some people are a little more cold-blooded than I am, but 68 and breezy is perfect for me. And so that's where we want our kids to be. We don't need to get too high. If something goes bad, don't need to get too low. Don't, turn on each other. The ebbs and flows of the game are going to take care of themselves and just kind of stay even keel. And it'll work out at the end if we just, do our job.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Rigg hit it on the nail there. And, we can't force anything. We can't do too much. We just got to be able to play our game and do what we've been doing, since the start of August. And the routine, I mean, as like he said, it stayed the same. We haven't done anything miraculous different. We just got to go out there and do what we do on a daily basis and go play our game.
Yeah, I think I don't usually use stuff like that only because, like they both brought up, that none of that stuff matters when we play the game. What anyone says or what anyone thinks really doesn't matter. It's about who's the guys playing on the field and how they execute. So we're more worried about what does Walnut Grove do really well, how do we stop it, and how do we do what we do really well and try to implement that and stop what they do. So it's more about focusing on us and focusing on what they do well and defending that. Everyone outside the game is going to have a lot to say, which is awesome. It's fun to be a part of an atmosphere where people care. But at the same time, it can't impact the way we go about our business.
Well, I love it. Hey, listen, I'm going to ask you one more hard-hitting question to end the night. Maybe the hardest question that you guys have been asked yet this season. Last year around this time, we sat the three of you on stage together and did something similar. And we asked you guys, who has the stinkiest food that they leave in the coach's office? And it was by far Coach Cantrell and his stinky eggs, for anybody that remembers that conversation. My mind has been wondering for a year, has he been shamed enough to remove the stinky eggs from the office, or is he still at it?
So he's kind of, as he's grown, gotten older, he's kind of adventured into different types of foods. Still similarly stinky. We actually had to have on Saturday morning, we got done with our win last week against Emerson, and we actually had to have a sanitation session where, not going to name who the reason was, or the moldy dishes that they left in the refrigerator, or just the kind of overall crude nastiness that they brought in the refrigerator.
There we go. Could it potentially be the coach that I was mentioning?
It's a familiar culprit, but there were some accomplices that went along with him. So we had to take about an hour, go over kind of a retraining of how to be sanitary, how to be normal human beings, and then we moved on with our game planning on Saturday. But it was, we actually just had to address that on Saturday. So Coach Parr had a very heartfelt, conversation with everyone in the room, but we made sure that we had used it as a learning moment.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad was the situation? How moldy and gross was it getting? Scale of 1 to 10.
I don't know if you can grade it on a scale of 1 to 10, but it was
On a scale of 1 to a football locker room at the end of the season, how gross was it getting?
Similar.
Similar to an end of season high school boys football locker. That's rough. Anybody else, either one of you guys, Severe or Rod, thoughts on Coach Cantrell and his eating habits?
No, I mean, it's a good evaluation. It's gone a little bit better, but Saturday morning coming in, I thought we were going to hit the ground running, start, getting ready for Walnut, and no, it actually started with, cleaning out the refrigerator, throwing out the trashes, and, getting rid of that food that's been there for a couple of months. So,
listen, I understand the pain. We have to go through that at our church sometimes. We put up a sign, please do not leave food, and we come in 3 months later and there's been milk in there in the very back of the fridge that I'm now throwing away on a Sunday morning while Phil is trying to do his thing. So understand that. Hey, listen, Coach Severe, nothing to add to that one?
They've said it all.
All right. Well, hey, with that, guys, listen, I know it's a big week, so we don't want to keep you guys any longer than we need to. We're going to let you guys get out of here. Of course, to everybody that's joining us online, 7 p.m. at Prosper Children's Health Stadium. I think I'm saying that right, but we can't wait to see everybody there. Be loud, be proud, and, of course, go Coyotes. All right. Y'all are good. Thanks, guys.